What up, world? What up, everybody? Welcome to the Fanatic Sports Podcast. I'm your man Blocker, episode 46. Episode 46 today. And it's another great one. Very, very excited. Every once in a while, like kind of the cool thing about this content creation thing is we get the opportunity to link with dope people. I was discussing this with shout out my homegirl Giovanna Scroggins from Behind the Sports Pod. We were talking today about some content things, and one of the really dope things we get the opportunity to do is link with people and put together good content, put together dope content, and whether it's 1 eye or 101 or 1,001, like to get to create dope content, and you meet dope people in the process, and there's nothing that can beat that. There's not nothing I can think of. Number of people on the live, number of comments, whatever you say, right? The to get the opportunity to create what you love and do it and meet like-minded people is really, really dope. And so today we've got the guys from the Culture Podcast. And so these guys are, to be honest, they're doing everything that I hope to do when I grow up one day. So very, very excited to have them. Shout out to Mike, Shaka, man. It was a pleasure to get to talk with you guys yesterday for a small amount of time, but even more for us to have the opportunity to link and kind of do this on air. And like we were saying, man, to have that conversation. We were having that conversation yesterday. Same thing, man. Like, to get to talk like we're gonna talk, and the conversations we have, and just to put out dope content in a world where so many things are fabricated. So many people are trying when there's instead of being genuine in who they are, man. It's a pleasure to get to work with and be with people like y'all who are genuinely just dope people in general, man. So welcome, man. Happy to have y'all here.
Happy to be here, brother.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
to be
Yes,
here.
sir.
Thank you for that introduction.
Yes, sir. It's a pleasure. So before we start, tell us a little bit more about you. Where everybody can find you. The work that y'all are doing.
Well, we do a lot of the stuff that you can find us on. You can find us on Instagram, of course, at the Culture One, and then you can find us on YouTube. We put most of our stuff, most of our long form videos and everything are on YouTube. We talk sneakers, we talk sports. And we get into a few other things too. We'll talk a little music from time to time, but usually it's sneakers and sports. We have our Atlanta podcast where we talk about the Falcons. We speak on the Hogs.
Rise Up, Rundown.
Yeah, Rise Up, Rundown. We speak everything Atlanta. And then we have another one where we have a Saints podcast, whereas they just strictly talking about the Saints. That's their thing.
Gumbo.
Gridiron Gumbo. We have a lot of different things going on.
I love that, man. Absolutely love that. And that's kind of the dope thing is the opportunity. Like I said, some of the things that you guys are doing are really, really cool. The stories that I've heard already and that y'all are gonna tell are just fantastic, man. So it's a blast to get to connect with people like y'all. And like y'all are in my age range. I just turned 40 in March, and so to be around people who look, we all got a little gray in our hair and our beard. Got a little, the knees don't bend like they used to no more. But
they got way more gray than me. See that? This ain't dyed. They got way more, and them boys ain't got no hair either. I can grow some braids. I want to.
Yeah, it's gone, baby. It's gone.
In my friend circle, I do have the most hair and the least amount of gray. So I'm very excited about this. I am kind of the youngest by a few months, but I don't know. Shout out to Pawpaw for giving me a good hairline, I guess. But so look, man, like we talked about yesterday, fanatic is a synonym or akin to crazy or passionate. So one of the things I like to do is to talk about your how you became a fan of your favorite team, whatever team it is. You pick how you became a fan of that team, and where you where did you get that passion for that team? You know, that's the fandom story that I love to hear. So if y'all want to go, whoever want to go first, and how you became a fan.
Who's going first, man?
Should I start off? I ain't shy.
Do it.
I ain't shy. All right. Yo, so shout out to everybody. It's your boy KP representing sneakers and sports and the culture. You see, I got my boys on here, Shaka, Shock G. I got Mike, the expert, on here with me as well. For me, you already see what it is. It's Bird Gang. All day, every day. Falcons, rise up. So for me, my passion for the Falcons goes back to the Too Legit to Quit Falcons. That's I moved to this city in 1991.
Okay.
So I was right on time. And I moved from Cleveland, Ohio. And at the time, soon after I moved, the organization I came from didn't exist anymore. So I kind of dove all the way in and really jumped into the prime time era. Right there in the middle of it, we used to have Hammer on the sideline. Right when we built the Georgia Dome, it was the perfect time to jump in. And we had a little down era after that, but really got me into the Falcons even more hardcore was the Chris Chandler era and the Dirty Bird era with Jamal Anderson, Chris Chandler, all of those guys. Shout out to all of them, Jesse Tuggle, Keith Brookin. I got a homie that don't like Keith Brookin, but
wait, hold. Why don't he like Keith Brookin?
He felt like he didn't make no big plays. He just was a tackle team.
That's a common thing that you see him from time to time, Block.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro.
Man, all right. So I grew up in that same era, right? And I was a fan. I wasn't a fan of the Falcons, but I was a fan of Dion, which reminds me of why Hammer was there in that era. The house that Dion built is what they call it for a while, right? And so, but I did watch that '98 team with great interest because I really wanted them to win. I liked the dance. But like I felt like Brooklyn was a very so like man like for me sometimes the play that's made don't result in a tackle. Like the person who made the play, it doesn't result in a tackle for them, right? Sometimes the D tackle soaking up the guard in the center and then the linebacker.
I mean, we had a lot of that in that era. I mean, Keith just happened to be a Johnny on the spot a lot when it came to tackles, bro.
Dog, they called him little brother, no play, man.
Yeah.
After the fact, that's just a thing. We, as a Falcons culture, man, we pick out one guy.
That's true.
We pick him. That's the way it is.
Didn't like him.
Just the way it is, bro.
He's not lying. He's not lying. But we had a lot of playmakers on that team. I think are so underrated. Like I said, I think Chris Chandler in our organization is probably one of the most underrated quarterbacks to play for the Falcons. He didn't put the ball in harm's way a lot. He made a lot of big plays through the air, and we were really a balanced team. A lot of people remember Jamal running wild, but we was really a balanced team. We could air it out and we could, run wild. I mean, we picked up Tony Martin from the Dolphins, which was a big pickup for us. And, he brought that speed they needed, so we had two great wide receivers, so we just had a little bit of talent, a little bit everywhere. And I think that might be one of the most balanced Falcons team outside of Matt Ryan era that you probably ever see.
Yeah, that's true. Talk a little bit. Before we go to the next team, talk a little bit about that '98 season in particular. So one of the things I remember about that season that was so spectacular was the Falcons knocking off that 15-1 Vikings team. That Randy Moss, Chris Carter, that team. I felt like nobody was going to beat the Vikings that year. Their offense was unreal. And so in the biggest of games, right? To
definitely
knock them off and I honestly felt like that was a Super Bowl champion that we were watching, and I'm trying to remember who they even played in that. Who did y'all play in that Super Bowl? Denver?
Yeah, it was Denver.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Eugene Harris struck.
Talk about that part, man. We ain't got to talk about that part. We just stop right there.
Look, the crazy part was I was like, man, ain't no way. Whoever wins this conference championship is winning the Super Bowl. Like in my mind, I just knew it. Like there was no way that the NFC wasn't going to be the champion that year. And the Vikings were just unstoppable. So talk a little bit about beating that Vikings team. What you remember from it? What that team looked like? I can only imagine what the city looked like during. I can only imagine.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna take the lead. I'm the oldest one in this crew.
He is.
I was in college. I was like a redshirt freshman when it happened. Okay. And I remember exactly.
Hey man, put some respect on your name, bro. You Division I athlete. Come on now, cut it out.
Hey, that's all in the past, baby. Listen, I was in Knoxville, Tennessee, and we had just got into Knoxville. I was going to get my hair braided. I went to East Tennessee State, so I was going to get my hair braided. Me and my boys, we stopped in. We were listening to the game on the radio. We caught the game. We caught the fourth quarter in the McDonald's right by the university. And when Gary Anderson missed that kick, okay, we erupted, man. And I'll be honest. So I go back. My Atlanta fandom started. I watched the Braves. My dad took me to Braves games in the 80s, man. I was there with Chief Nakahoma. The Princess was in there. I'm talking about Pascal Perez, Bruce Benedict, Chris Chambliss, Dale Murphy, Bob Horner. And when we went to Falcons games, it was before the Too Legit to Quit. I went to Willie Andrews Day. You know what I mean? I was there when Scott Case was running around. And like KP said, that Too Legit to Quit era, like with Dion, that really started Falcons football in Atlanta to another degree. And then you have Vic and then Matt Ryan. But I just know the 98 team did something that couldn't be done. Shout out to Terrence Mathis, Redan High School, Stone Mountain, Georgia, my high school. Terrence Mathis, I'll tell y'all a quick story, then I'll pass it to Mike. Terrence Mathis went to my high school. He used to come back, look out for the whole team. He brought us to the Dome, the entire Redan Raider football team. When Dion came back, when he was in San Fran, and him and Bad Moon Rising got into that fight. We were there. We were sitting right behind TLC when it happened. Front row seats. I'm talking about I think it was my sophomore year, junior year. Man, we saw it all. So shout out to Terrence Mathis for being a real A-Town, stay down, looking out for his home team. But yeah, man, there's nothing like being a Falcons fan and a Braves fan. Like that 90s time, what a time to be alive, baby.
Greatest time, man. And you can't forget Morton Anderson, bro. You gotta. We don't get to the Super Bowl without him. You know what I'm saying? He was clutch. He was clutch.
Most definitely. So basically, for me, I grew up more of a basketball guy more than I was a football person growing up. Now, when I did get into the Falcons, because I kind of growing up out here in Atlanta, you just kind of inherited that you get into the Falcons. So I was looking at it back with Michael Vick and stuff. Michael Vick was like the Michael Jordan at that time. So just watching him and how fast he was and just everything, how explosive he was, it was just great just watching him. It was just exciting anytime you can see Michael Vick on there. So that's how I was when it came to Atlanta and everything. But basketball-wise, I was more, I was born in California, so I was a Lakers fan. I love Magic. I love James Worthy. I love all that. I love Kobe. I love Shaq. I was always a Lakers fan growing up. So that was my thing there.
Okay, got you. So my grandmother, I was born in Arkansas. My grandmother's from South Arkansas. She moved like most old people in that time. They moved out west, and she lived most of her life in LA, man. And so she was a big time sports fan. She kind of groomed my sports fandom. And I didn't adopt her teams, but like it was just really, really dope to kind of see she loved that scene. And so one of the things that kind of reminds me of is kind of similar between LA and Atlanta and like some of those big markets, like Atlanta is, where there's a ton of sports. Great, very slept on sports sound. Just from a lot of the things that happened there. You got I know the hockey team was there for a long time. Is the hockey team still there?
Yeah. I think Shaka probably remember this. We really don't have three teams. So
right.
The Flames is before me. So that was before I got here. It was a Calgary. They moved to Calgary, but they're the Calgary Flames. Okay. And then what Shaka probably remember, what I remember too, I still got one of the pucks, is Atlanta Knights.
Yeah.
I remember that. I had Atlanta Knights, and I would go to that, and I had a puck, and then we got the Thrashers a little bit later.
Right, yeah.
And they moved again, too. So, I mean,
I know hockey. That's not really a Southern sport. So I can understand, but
in Florida it is.
Yeah,
you can't tell the lightning. Nothing.
Yeah.
I interned at one of the local stations, 680 The Fan.
Okay.
And that's the home of the Thrashers. So I got to do Thrashers games. There's nothing like hockey live, man. Yeah. Hockey live is
dude. I went to a minor league hockey. So in Little Rock, we had a minor league hockey team for a couple years, and I don't know why, but they would bring tickets to the high school. And man, we would go on a Friday night, bro. In the middle of the springtime, it was nothing to do. We get done working out, and then we would go and just go to the game. I mean, all the live action and the fast pace, like man, I love it. I can never see myself dating. They asked the question, what is the harder thing to do in sports, to hit a curveball or to play hockey? And it's to me, it's
hockey, definitely.
No, I can tell you for sure. So I'm from Ohio originally. Okay. I played hockey as a kid.
Did
everybody,
you?
Yes, everybody in Ohio at some point. You know you're gonna play football or hockey, one or two or both. And I did both. And hockey is much harder. Skating backwards is a very hard skill, and to do that with pads and a stick is super hard.
Oh man, I can't.
I barely can skate on regular skates, so trying to get out
Hey man, and these days, that's what's so amazing to me about Ovechkin, man. So Ovechkin's not much younger than we are, right?
Yeah.
And listen, sometimes my knee just tricked to the left a little bit while I'm walking, so I can only imagine what's happening.
I can still get out there and skate a little bit. I mean, I could do that. I wouldn't try to do no hockey game and hurt myself, but I could still get around the rink pretty good.
That's
once you got it, you never lose it, man. Once you got it, you don't lose it.
Like
I never got it.
I never picked it up myself.
No, they put you on skates in the land. They put you on skates, man. You gotta get on them.
So we appreciate y'all again, man, for joining us, man, on the podcast. So for anybody that's just joined, I know some of my church members might be joining here shortly. We're very happy to have the Culture with us today, the Culture Podcast, Sneakers and Sports. So look, let's jump right into, before we get into all the really, really cool stuff y'all about to talk about, let's talk a little bit about the preseason. Preseason's occurred. Teams have been cut. And we are about to get into season one. Now, I don't try to get too religious, but with football, down here in the South, it is.
It's what it is, baby.
Jesus, and then the football season. So, man, it's gonna be really fun next Thursday as the season starts. Of course, and the season opens up with the Cowboys versus the Eagles. And I'm sure y'all probably got the same ESPN notification I got. I am just mind blown.
Bro,
mind blown.
I'm sitting here like, Terry, you ain't have 2 first-round picks?
No,
I mean, Terry, I see you all the time. I'm going to see Terry, and I'm going to ask him about that. You ain't have 2 first-round picks?
No, we do not.
Well, so
we ain't got it.
Dog, they ain't even really give no compensation as far as players. If you just wanted picks, I'd give you the 2 first round.
We could not afford Michael Parsons. Stop it.
Well,
come on. That's another thing too about being Falcons fans. We kind of like Laker fans. We trade for everybody, even if we got the compensation or not.
Yeah, you'll find it. There's money everywhere. But that's the interesting thing, right? So, like how quickly that.
Yes.
Inside of the bubble, it says Michael Parsons traded, automatically signs the contract for $8 million. Which good for him. I hope that he ends up getting him a defensive player of the year. I was my man Freezy Sports. He lives in St. Louis, and he was covering this as it occurred, and he said that Michael Parsons is top 2 as a pass rusher. But ironically, I was like, I got to push him to 3 because I'm a Steelers fan. So TJ Watt is.
I'm with you.
Cut it out.
I'm
man.
with you.
Cut it out, yo. Cut it out, man.
That's the Cleveland coming out.
Who are you saying is number 1 though? Who are you saying is number 1?
Well, we know Miles is number 1.
Miles, you like Miles Garrett over? Okay, so
Miles is number 1.
He's number 1.
TJ is older than Miles than Michael Parsons. So obviously his career is going to end faster.
TJ is, it's okay to say he's number 2. All right, you're gonna see KP talk about like he got.
I would say
he got that Falcons hat on his head, but don't forget where he's from now.
I would say Myles Garrett is number 1, and then I'll put Michael Parsons 2. I'll probably put TJ 3. But that 3 spot is kind of interesting because you talking him, Trey Hendricks. I mean, there's some other guys out here. If a Reddick decide to play again, he could be at number 3 because he was a monster for a short little time. But I'll probably say TJ number 3, and then I'll probably go with Hendricks after that, and then it all starts to blend together a little bit after that.
I was gonna say Hendrickson. At some point, we're gonna he led the league in sacks the past 2 years. So at some point, we're gonna have to factor him into the kind of that top 5 pass rushers. That might be some good content for me. I appreciate it. I'm glad y'all came on with us. But
Max Crosby, don't forget Max Crosby.
Max Crosby, he's a monster too, and we don't really see him play that much. So I think that's kind of where you don't really be. Well, it's not even that. It's just that the team isn't good. They're not on TV.
That's
they're
true.
Not good. So
that's true.
What he's doing is kind of happening in a bubble, unfortunately.
So I wanted to. The reason I bring up Michael Parsons and obviously his big effect on the Packers. But what my man Freezy Sports said was that people are drafting pass rushers looking for the next Michael Parsons, while Jerry Jones is giving him away for a washing machine and two late 20s first round picks. So, but y'all got a guy that I feel like could be just as impactful. One is Jalen Walker.
It's a little early to put him in that class.
Well, I'm not.
He could be.
I'm not going to give him Mike Parsons. I'm just thinking about the fact that you guys addressed a big need in pressure on the quarterback. But I'll tell you the guy that I was even more impressed with was James Pierce Jr. This dude has a nasty attitude, and normally I'm not. I'm a superhero. We gonna save everybody, the wide receivers and the quarterback. But like as a coach and as an analyst and as a fan, to watch this guy play at Tennessee, and I got a chance to see him up close when he played Arkansas. Man, this dude is filthy. Now, obviously, the league is very different, and one of the things I realized is that it takes a lot to develop your pass rush skills. So, because once you get to the league, it's not just your speed to run around everybody. You got to use your hands and the technique, and there's a lot on the table. But you guys, the Falcons, answered some really good holes this offseason. Talk a little bit about that defense and what you guys are going to expecting to see from the new people, and then of course your offense looks pretty good as well.
Well, the one thing that people forget in all this, we got James Pierce Jr. We got Jalen Walker. Right. We also picked up Leonard Floyd. And he's coming home, and he's going to help raise the pups to where they need to be. So when they interview Leonard Floyd, I listen because he gives key insights on what they're doing. Now, like pass rushing, like you said, it's a craft. It's an art. So you're perfecting your craft. One thing that's really come about in the last decade or 2 decades is like these college guys are coming in with hands, man. They're coming in with technique. Like their hands are ready. You can see that with all of that. Yeah, you can see it with Myles Garrett. You can see it with TJ Watt. They didn't come in like maybe in the past, like JJ Watt and some of the older pass rushers where it took them a year or 2 to get going. Nah, these dudes come in with their hands ready. It's really their footwork that they have to get grown up. So, one thing I was happy to see with James Pierce Jr. is that he put on the weight immediately coming into camp, which one shows me he's serious. Blocker, you already said it. His attitude is nasty. So we should be able to expect, because we didn't have much, right, from a past. We haven't had much since the Predator.
We haven't had much, since Abraham and John Kearney and Rod Coleman. That's when we had a pass rush.
Patrick,
we ain't had one since then. We've had a one-man gang, and that being, shout out to 97. I wish him all the best in Chicago. We love him. I really wish that he was still here, and unfortunately, he had that year where he, had a leg injury. And first off, he's royalty, dog. His dad is Jesse Tuggle.
Great.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, man.
Grady Jarrett's
yeah,
father
that's
was Jesse Tuggle. Let's put some respect on 97's name. You know, so I would love to see, and if you think about it too, and Shaka and Expert could probably agree with this, our pass rush was always coming from the interior instead of the edge. We've only had one edge rusher probably since John Abraham, and he was a one-hit wonder.
Vic Beasley had the
that's what I say. He's a one-hit wonder.
Beasley. So all right, let me get a little bit of insight on this guy. I'm gonna tell you how I know him, but I want you to tell me about him first, and then I'll tell you how I know him. Do you guys? So I'm sure you remember Jamal Anderson, but there was a second Jamal Anderson.
Yes.
That joined the Falcons as well, and I thought about him. He had an outstanding junior season.
Yep.
And then
at Arkansas.
Yep. And then he went to the league. And I know a lot of things were in play with him, as far as I understand. But talk a little bit about what you remember about Jamal Anderson.
I'm gonna tell you this: the first one. I'm gonna let Expert talk about Jam, the actual great Jam, the running back, the Dirty Bird CEO. I'm gonna let Mike. He an expert, so I'm gonna let him talk about that Jamal Anderson.
Okay.
As for the other guy, we're just gonna call him the other guy.
The other guy. Okay.
The other guy, Jamal Anderson. I mean, he was a ham sandwich, bro. Let's be honest. If you watch the Falcons, and Shaka probably agree with this. Remember, we was on Hard Knocks.
Okay.
And we had it's Keith. I forget his last name, the coach. I apologize. But anyway, he sat there and he said they asked about Malachi Goodman. And what did he say? He don't want it, coach. That's the same thing I could say about that Jamal Anderson. He didn't want it.
Yeah. It was, you know what though? I feel that there are sometimes players that don't have, because Jamal Anderson, in all actuality, I think he was one of those guys that hadn't had like a long, it's not like he played his whole life. You know, he kind of was one of those guys that came and started in college pretty quickly. And he probably just needed some more development. When you come to the Falcons and there's not a lot of other star players to help bring you up or to help put you in line in the path that you need to go, then you're expected to perform. He probably just wasn't ready for that role, and that's what led to some of his struggles. And I think he got hurt. He had a little injury bug while he was with Atlanta.
Bro, you being nice, dog. The guy didn't want it, man. Let's just be real. He didn't want it.
Yeah, Blocker, we kind of trashed him.
What coach told you? He said, he don't want it, coach. He don't want it. That's what Keith Armstrong told you. So, I'm gonna let Expert tell you about the other Jamal Anderson that's actually great, that actually wanted and got busy for us.
I mean, what can you say about him? I mean, Jamal Anderson was everything. I mean, he was a dominant runner. I mean, he was, breaking tackles. He basically really just led the team. So I mean, he was just everything. In that 1998 season, I mean, he really did a lot for us. Over 18 rushing yards. I mean, the dude just was everything for the team. He really, one of the reasons, I know I said something about Michael Vick, but really Jamal Anderson was one of the reasons that really got me into the Falcons and got me to start watching them and really get into football like that. So yeah, most definitely. And that dance.
That Dirty Bird was culture impacting.
Shout out to Ray Buchanan, man. That's another guy from that squad that don't get enough credit. People skip over him, and Brian Jordan as well. Another player that played two-way sports for both the Braves and the Falcons, just like Dion. And people don't remember him, and he don't get his credit. So shout out to those two guys.
Well, that whole defense. I mean, we had Chuck Smith, we had all Smith, players, Cornelius Bennett, all those guys. Daryl. What's Daryl's? Man, showing my age, boy. We had all those cast-offs from the Buffalo Bills Super Bowl teams.
Okay, I do. Okay, yeah, I do remember that. So tell me about with the running back Jamal Anderson. Was he? He kind of came out of nowhere, right? Like I feel like.
Yeah, he went to Utah. He didn't have a lot of fanfare, but in college he was smashing too.
Okay. And see that's the crazy thing about today as opposed to 20 or 30 years ago, man. Like, we don't see those names. And one of the things I think that's interesting, that in the last probably 2 years now, since, college football has come back out and they've got all the names on there. right? So I know players' names that I would have to look up or try to make the roster work, things of that nature. You know, in the early 2000s, late 90s, you know, going to get those rosters, you know, and trying my best to get on my mom's AOL so I could download the roster on PS2, things like that. But no, I mean, like, those are names that kind of get hidden, you know, especially out west or you know, being in our area where we only focus on SEC ball, things like that. Really, really interesting. I said I'd tell you how I knew the pass rusher Jamal Anderson. Actually, he's a close friend. He went to high school with me. He was a year behind me. But no, I think he'll tell you that, you know, getting to the league was an eye-opening experience for him. As Shaka said, it really was a thing where he was, you know, in college he was literally, because he played wide receiver in our house.
Yeah.
He was an outstanding wide receiver. If you could imagine, I'm sure he's watching right now. As a matter of fact, yeah, Marcus. So Marcus.
Hey, I said what I said. I stand on business.
No.
Let's be honest. It's levels to this, and that's not the, you know, it's levels to it. It's a whole nother level when you go from college to the pros. It just is what it is. I mean, we know that.
I guarantee you, I got this from the horse's mouth that, man, I got to the pros and I had so much to learn. And by the time he finally learned it all, his contract was up and they didn't want to renew it. So then he had to go there. And then also now it's like, all right, well, the game is changing and evolving. And he kind of got there in a weird spot where 6'7", 260 turned into a D tackle instead of a defensive end. And so he moved around from place to place. And like you said, the injury bug plays a factor into it. And I don't think you're saying anything, KP, that Jamal wouldn't agree to. You know what I mean? So I'm not. I wouldn't if I was that concerned.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest too, though. When you look at that transition, it's kind of like in basketball. An expert can tell you this. You look at a guy like a Greg Monroe or Andre Drummond. They just showed up in the NBA at the wrong time. Had they played in Patrick Ewing era, they would have got that bag. But they showed up in the NBA where dudes was putting the ball on the floor and they shooting threes.
Well, Blocker also brought up a good point, man. And I experienced this myself. When you go from changing positions, like in high school, you wide receiver, right? He probably dominated. He's just bigger than everybody else.
We just threw it up to him. And he was 6'7". He would just go get it.
Right. And then you go to playing D-line. Now you're in the trenches. I played quarterback in high school. I was an all-state player, you know, north-south, could run a 4-4, all that good stuff. And then I transitioned my way into a linebacker role, you know, outside linebacker by the time I got to junior, senior year in college. And I'm same thing. You down there in the trenches. Now, I didn't play at Arkansas, right? I didn't have to go up against the SEC talent every week, but I knew all those guys, and the guys that really flourished in the league or in college are the ones that just they either got lucky or they just spent all day and night perfecting their craft. There was no partying. Like they toed the line. That's what you got to do. So, you know, shout out to Jamal Anderson, man. Hey, those guys that didn't pan out in the pros, they still legends.
They still made it.
You still made it, bro.
Yeah.
He's an outstanding father and an outstanding businessman, and most of that.
That's the part that matters.
His trajectory was changed because somebody took a chance on him at defensive end, and they weren't wrong. He blew by every deep offensive tackle in the SEC, and he had 12 sacks, and he was one of the highest drafted Razorbacks in history. And so, you know, and listen, you go back to Parkview High School, he's still a legend there. So like you said,
You know,
hey, expert. Tell them Sandy Creek Patriots. That's all we do is raise legends. You got a bunch.
Oh yeah, of course.
Just give them a couple of them, man. We got a bunch of guys. You want to talk about the NFL?
Well, I mean,
we
got guys.
we got, you know, we got the one and the only, you know, Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? The one and only.
Yeah.
That's the only name you gotta say. Yeah, that's
You know what I'm saying? And you want a Super Bowl ring? We got Jabari Holloway, Patriots, Super Bowl ring. Kedrick Golston, shout out to the homie Kedrick Golston. Played for the Washington Commanders now. You know what I'm saying? J.R. Lemon, Raiders. Come on, man. We got names now.
Y'all got pros. Look, y'all
got pros now.
I will tell you that we were the Parkview Patriots, so we too were Patriots. But funny enough, so one of the other really interesting things that I connected Atlanta in so many different ways. So one of the jobs I had when my son was born, my son's 15 now. When he was born, I was making the high school football posters that they sent around with the pictures of the team. I sold the advertising for that. And so, man, I worked hard. And so I got this country twang and with a little bit of code switching, I fit right in down there in Georgia. Where I made my money, though, so I had Sandy Creek. Where I really made my money was at Riverdale. That was my baby. I used to kill it in Riverdale because we had a bunch of, I live in North. They needed somebody that could come in and kind of sound urban, and so I made a killing out there in Riverdale, man. But hey,
Mike, tell them shout out to Sandy Creek, Tyrone Clover Click. We in the building.
Oh yeah, you know what it is. You know what it is. You know what.
That's so good, man. Well, look, man. Listen, for everybody that's just joining, man, don't worry. It's about to get better, man. So we got the culture joining us, man. Definitely a shout out to y'all. Not only do you guys talk sports, which I think is fantastic, it's how I connect with a lot of people, but we also talk, you talk sneakers in particular, and then just in general, the culture. So I did look up and see that there were a couple sneakers coming out over the next few weeks. Talk a little bit about some of the sneakers that you think are your favorite, and then I'll pull up the 4 or 5 that I found, and you can kind of tell me what you think about it. But what's your favorite sneaker? I guess if you got one, we can even split it up. We'll do your favorite sneaker, and then if it's not the same, your favorite Jordan.
Well, I mean, sneakers is it's so hard. It's like saying what's your favorite kid. You know what I mean? But if I got to say my favorite Jordan is probably the Jordan 4 Military Blue that came out about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So for me, it's a shoe I wanted since I was 8 years old. My mom just couldn't afford that particular shoe at that time. I used to see it in Stride Right every day. It just haunt me. So now I've been able to own it. This is my second pair. My daughter has a pair, so that's really cool that we got to do that together.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dr. Greg Grovey that owns Kicking It in San Antonio. He took care of me and my daughter and made sure that we both got a pair. Came on our show, so I wanted to, give him a shout out. I know Mike, the expert, a Jordan 3 guy. If it's a 3, he probably got it.
Oh yeah. Any Jordan 3, I got basically all of them. So any Jordan 3, that's where I'm at. Most definitely.
I'm a 4 and 11 guy.
Okay.
My favorite shoes in life were the Huaraches. And like I said, I'm a little older, so my Diodoras and my Elise.
Elise, that's a dope boy shoe right there. That's a dope boy shoe.
So first,
that's a Rich Porter shoe right there.
I should mention, KP, that my favorite child is the one closest to the refrigerator to give me my food. But if I had, so I've got a favorite Jordan. I have a favorite Jordan that I owned, which was the Jordan 9s. I had, and apparently they're about to re-release them, but they were the Jordan 9s, the olive ones. You remember those?
Yeah.
Man, so I'm 6'5", I'm an offensive tackle, and so finding anything in a 15 is wonderful for me, man. Thank God for the internet, because bro, I was in trouble. I had to wear Payless shoes and all them shoes that in the clearance section, man. Which I later found out how to dress and how I started appreciating.
Yep.
My favorite Jordans that I've ever had owned were those olive 9s, but my favorite Jordan just in general are the 12s. I like the taxis, but there was a I want to say it was red red at the top and then black down in the midsole.
Yeah, that's the bread. That's the bread.
Oh my
12.
God,
Mike wore that in '97 in the
yes,
in the playoffs, man, and that's what he wore when they won the championship against Utah the first time.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so that's a favorite too. Like Shaka 11s, I have every original colorway of 11 in the high top and in the low top.
Come on.
So I really do 11s, but
Yeah,
I mean, I like them all. Just depends on what the mood is, what the dress code is. I mean, I see a lot of people now starting to hate on Jordan 1s, but I love it because it make it easier for me. You know, the shattered backboards just drop. It's an easy cop. We don't got to go through all this extra rigmarole.
That was my first pair, baby. I
What?
cut so many heads. I cut so many heads to save up to get that first number one.
Yeah.
Bro, somebody. So my cousins, shout out to my cousins. My aunt told me this a few weeks ago. She gave me like 3 pair of Jordan 1s. Super, super hard too. But she said, she was like, yo, you know, they don't want them no more because young folks don't wear it. Only old people like Jordan 1s is what they said.
That's good.
I'll take them.
Sound good. Hold on, let me make room in my bag. Right?
Exactly.
But what like that can't be the case. Here we go, man. I walk around. I'm rocking them right now, right? I done pulled them out just to see how it works. Like, everybody our age was like, man, hip hard.
See, this is the thing with sneakers, though. You're supposed to wear what you like, not what hype's saying.
Right.
And we had a lot of hype over the last couple of years that made sneakers basically unattainable. And it'll be hype over stuff that shouldn't even be no hype. And now the hype beasts are up out of it. So now the real heads could kind of come in here and eat and get what we want. And I love it. I mean, it's been easy to pretty much cop most of the things you want this year. It's only been a few things that have been hard to get. Them Nigel 1 lows, the undefeateds. You know, those things have been hard to get, but pretty much everything else that you want. Olive 9s, Great 5s, Aqua 8s.
Speaking of which, did y'all see I know y'all saw not Rick Ross, my bad. Wrong
Trick Daddy.
Rapper, Trick Daddy.
Yeah.
His shoe collection, all
crumbling.
Jordans were crumbling.
That's how long we had them.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. You got to wear your sneakers every once in a while. Right. You can't just let them sit. So part of what happens with a sneaker is it starts to break down if you don't wear it after a long amount of time. So some of Trick's shoes probably been sitting there 10 years or better. One, you wearing it too so the rubber don't come apart, because that's happened to me before. You wear it and that sole come apart and now it's done. So you got to wear your shoes, but also they all got an expiration date. The only shoe that's probably never going to break is a Jordan 1. The rest of them shoes, eventually, Father Time gonna come get them.
Okay. So I better get some of them out the closet then. Got it. So so I've been probably my favorite shoe in general, man. I've had so many dunks. And I don't know if y'all remember this trend a while back. You talk about how the hype makes it hard to get some of the shoes. Travis Scott had the dunks. Man, I've been on dunks for. First of all, again, it was so hard for me to find size 15 shoes, and we would go to the Nike outlet in Memphis was a treat. That was the only thing my mama could do to get my grades up. And so we would go to that Nike outlet, and you know, everybody looking for MJs and all of that, man. And I'm checking out all these dunks. I'm checking out all these skateboard shoes, skateboard kicks, all types of stuff. But like I remember when the dunks became the dunks. I remember when the Air Force Ones went up because of Nelly. And then
hold on now. We from Atlanta. Expert Shaka, keep them honest, man. We've been on Air Force Ones way before.
Yeah, A1s.
That was part of our regular uniform.
The price went up. Yeah, the price went up because of Nelly.
But we've been like the New York guys. You know what I'm saying? You wear them 10 times and throw them away and go buy another pair because they look bad once they start creasing, man.
Yeah.
We was wearing mids, lows. Ain't that right, Expert?
Oh yeah, Air Force Ones. That was the thing. I mean, I still rock them. So you know,
white on white. Yeah. He keep a pair. He keep a new pair.
Hey, y'all appreciate this. I was at my mom's house, going through my stuff. I found my old suede Patrick Ewing's.
That was a cold shoe.
Yes, black.
Shout out to Patrick Ewing. He was one of the first guys to get his own sneaker line after MJ.
That's right. That's right. So I found them jokers, man. They weren't falling apart or nothing.
Nah, that shoe was made like it's a brick, dog. That thing don't fall apart. You remember on the front of the crisscross cover, they was wearing the humans.
Yes. Yeah, that's
they
right.
had the humans on.
Yep.
So look, I found a couple shoes that are coming out next week. Any of them that maybe strike some interest for you? As far as I know, the one that got me, and it's a women's shoe, but it was the green fives. It's like what do they call it? The Louded green five, something like that. It was a weird kind of green. It's almost booger green five. That one, and then there was a couple more. Were there any for y'all that maybe struck a chord or tickled your fancy of sorts?
Not for me. I mean, I'll be honest, man. A lot of this stuff right now, because it's sitting, there's no real push to go get it right away, because you could pretty much get, at this point, all the real sneakerheads, we just sitting back and waiting for the joints to go on sale. If it ain't diamond turf or something like that, we sitting back waiting for it to go on sale and just, casually go pick it up when you want to. And then the other thing, and the other guys can tell you this, if you're a real sneakerhead too, right about now, you're not buying a lot of shoes, because in December, we all going to be broke. You're going to be buying 3 or 4 pair in December, because you got 11s dropping, you got 1s, 12s. There's a lot of stuff happening in December. So right now is the time to kind of cool off and re-up.
Okay. All right. So it's a schedule to this thing. I got a lot.
Depending on what you want.
So my brother is a huge sneakerhead. And so like he was that was, like I said, my mom would let me go to the Nike outlet. And so my brother he's honestly, I'm 40, so Andre's 45. And so he would do, like, he was like, nah, man, don't get him this one, get him that one. Or look, this is the cooler shoe. And I mean, this was at a time, he's always just been like cognizant of style, what the shoe can do, what it looks like, which ones were coming out, in the late 90s. And this we was working off East Bay, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
It was like I've always, looking back now, just thinking about him trying to put me into the dopest styles, and I'm baby brother, so even though I've been taller than him for longer than I've been alive, but he always wanted to have baby brother.
Man, I'm still helping my little brother Mike the expert out like that, man. I gotta watch him, man. This guy might put on something crazy, man. We pop tags around here. We don't wear that. I gotta help him out, man.
Hey,
Shaka, no, man. I've been popping tags with sneakers. He's been seeing that for years.
For a long time, Blocker. Listen, I'm not even going to front. I just listen to them.
Yeah,
I'm just part of the train. So I get all my info from them.
Okay.
I'm not really a sneakerhead like that. I just pose as one.
Got it. So tell me how y'all kind of got together and started doing the culture.
All right, so the culture started in 2015. Shout out to my man DPC.
It's deep, man. Proud of that.
Yeah, we started in 2015. We just mostly did sneaker content at that time. Okay. And then we actually started off with a bang. Our first situation was doing a collab with Puma and this guy named Mosh that customized sneakers. And Mosh does customization for like D Wade, LeBron, and people like that. So we were able to do that project. And then our first big interview was actually Mike Rich, who just came back on the channel. We did that at SneakerCon. And then here last year, we just decided to really push the passion. So me and Mike, we've known each other since little kids. We grew up on the same street. Okay. So that's my man, 180 grand. We go all the way back to Clover Click and Tyrone. Castlewood in the building, so
you're not supposed to be telling people about the Clover Click, what I'm saying? Oh, that's a secret. People not supposed to know about it.
This guy right here, man, that guy gets your back. He got your back. If you really rock with you, he rock with you, man. So I was like, yo, and me and Expert had done music. We did all that already, on the production side and on the talent side and all that. And we did internet radio in 2011. Okay. 2010. Yeah, Live Minds Inc. And we just decided, to kind of click up. One of my favorite things about this dude, man, every summer we'd be on that playground until sun up, sundown, just hooping. Yeah. Just hooping. Yeah. Just hooping, man. Yeah. I remember we played these old guys. I had just started dunk. it's like I think we like maybe 2 points away from being game point. And he like, man, he pulled me to the side. He said, I bet you won't dunk on that old fool. And you ain't gotta say nothing else. Just throw the thing up. I'm gonna go get it. And I had to go give it to the old guy. And we quickly got off the court. We didn't give him no next after that. So,
okay. Y'all got
we was done. We already knew we had used up all our juice and all that. So we wasn't gonna give him no next. And then my man G over here, nothing but great things. Me and G don't know each other for over a decade. We worked together several different times. And man, G just always been a stand-up guy, man. And so like me and G had worked on projects a long time together, like a lot of video production stuff. Yep. And I was just like, yo, man, you got to come on here and talk your talk with that football and that basketball. So
I got started. Me and KP, we have a mutual homeboy that we also worked with. And I started doing stuff with him way back in 2008. Okay. You know, he was working. He was the producer for the Two Live Stews. I was interning, and I ended up doing a couple of shows at 680 The Fan, which are like cross-town rivals, 790 on 680 The Fan. So we just
out of Shake Shapiro.
Yeah. We knew mutual friends, and we started doing our own content. We had a show called The Redonkulous. We were doing stuff on YouTube back in 2009, 2010, way back then. And then I met KP right around that time. And he just brought me along, man. He just brought me back into the fold. You know, life gets you off of your content.
Yep.
And then it takes good brothers to bring you back in.
Yeah, and it's good.
Shout out to G. He noticed we actually from the same neighborhood here from elementary school.
Okay.
The same middle school. We didn't even know each other yet at that time, but we both inside. So
yeah, man.
It's funny how you can go so far and still stay so close to home with different people, man. It's actually pretty dope to see that. KP, you told me y'all worked in the music field. That was kind of the last thing I want to talk about before.
I'm gonna let Expert tell a couple of these stories because we got some funny ones. We don't work with some good artists and stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna let him tell you what he want to tell you. I got one I want to say, but I'm gonna let him go first.
Man, and listen, the floor is yours.
Oh man, I mean, shoot, where can I go with the Live Minds? when we was doing Live Minds, when we was throwing the parties and stuff, we used to me and KP. We used to throw parties out here in different places and everything. And KP was like, you know, we used to call him Gangsta K. You know what I'm saying? We used to call him Gangsta K.
You move like a mop.
Yeah. Anything go down, I mean, you don't got our money, man. The Gangsta K come out, boy. He going he going down there. Oh my goodness. He don't got us to some mess. I thought we was gonna get locked up, you know, but
I have been known to snatch up a promoter or two to try to play us on the bread.
Yeah. I was like, man, we got to get out this business ASAP.
You got to tell them about Emmitt Smith though. That was
So we did have one party that we threw. Emmitt Smith wound up being there. I mean, it was nice. I mean, we had there was a lot of people there. It was packed the whole time. I mean. And Emmitt Smith wound up showing up. So, yeah, it was huge. It was at, what was it? It was called Mingles.
Mingles, yeah.
That was the name of the spot. It was called Mingles. And it went down. We had live bands there. We had a DJ. We had a couple live bands. I mean,
shout out to DJ Wonderboy, the Mighty Network.
DJ Wonderboy, the Mighty Network. It went down. Mm-hmm.
So, he don't want to tell this one. I'll tell it, man. So, shout out to the Rich Kids. We've been there for their music video.
Yeah.
T.I. been in the studio with him a couple times thanks to my man Dre. That he grew up with him, so that's how I met him. Shout out to Country Kane, a friend of mine that I've been known a long time. Big Country Kane, one of my favorite hip hop artists. But anyway, so me and Mike the Expert, we was doing the music stuff and we was doing the party thing, throwing parties, and we had hired these promoters. Man, it was actually some college kids. And so we had like a meeting with them to make sure they had, we gave them the flyers and kind of gave them everything to do. And so they came to the meeting. It's just me and Mike. Now they came to our office.
Oh, I remember.
It's just two of us. They like 8 deep.
Yeah.
And so we like, yo, man, this is kind of crazy. But I guess they brought their street teams. We still ain't think nothing of it. We sit down at the table and now we negotiating the money. and one of them put a pistol on the table. I was like, so you think that's supposed to scare us or something? Like, yo, you might want to put that away unless you want to use it. So it was kind of a funny situation where I guess they thought we would be scared, and when they saw we weren't scared, they, we got to the business and everything got handled. But I guess it's just the kind of things that happen when you're in that type of business. Sometimes people do some weird stuff, and that kind of always threw us for a loop. I was like, wow, I can't believe they brought a pistol to a regular meeting. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, like what
kind of business are y'all expecting to do at this point?
Exactly.
We was out of that business.
I was like, before we even got started, you break out a pistol. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I guess and I can understand a little bit. So, like being from Little Rock, man, like my senses are in tune in a different way, and I know. Like we were talking about this last night, man. One of the things that, for a long time, just anybody saying the name Little Rock was good enough for us, man. Fell in love with Outkast because Big Boy shouted out Little Rock banging. But like for us, that was big. But like you live in that when you in that world and kind of that atmosphere. Thank God, my folks, as Three Stacks said, man. My mama raised us pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So we weren't raised up in that kind of atmosphere, but sometimes I found myself I worked in the music and promotion business for a little while as well, and it was the same thing. You just find yourself dealing with people in some of the weirdest. Like, man, where do you think you are right now?
The music business. I remember we had a guy that we was gonna sign him. We broke down a contract to him, and I mean the contract made sense, right? We taking all the risks, we putting up all the bread, we paying for the studio time. So of course we gonna get a bigger split of the pie. We got to get our bread back. You know what I'm saying? It's called an advance, and he didn't understand an advance. So you had those type of situations that happen. But I mean, all in all, we had a lot of good experiences. Shout out to Bambi. Mike probably remember that. We actually was part of her first album rollout. Bambi from Love and Hip Hop. We worked on that first rollout. So
man, and being in that, so I've listened to a lot of like old head Atlanta cats, right? Like just kind of talking about that life, and kind of as you move into the and even especially the early 90s, late 90s to early 2000s, that world is unmatched, unrivaled, man. And so like it's so dope to get the opportunity to have this conversation with y'all, but also just to kind of be like it helps me relive watching it from far away. And so I live in Baton Rouge now, so the same concept is like growing up in Little Rock in Southwest Arkansas is where I went to college to play ball. But like we were heavily influenced by Baton Rouge and New Orleans music. Like, I grew up. I remember when Cash Money took over for the 9-9. I remember when the Hot Boys took over, right?
I went to school in Xavier University. So.
Oh, did you? Okay, so
I got there in '99. So I was
so
like
you was
at the right place at the right time, man.
Yeah, man.
I had a friend. Shout out to Ray Robinson. He was big friends. He was like best friends with BG.
Okay,
I spent a lot of time with them, hanging out with BG. Shout out to BG.
Man, you'd have been around some legends of the game, man. make me wonder, are you a legend of the game as well?
Only behind the scenes, man. Only behind the scenes. That's a whole nother story for another day. I will say this though, and Shaka could tell you this, and Expert could tell you this too. Our city probably been like 3 different things musically. He was kind of bass music like Miami. Yeah. Shout out to Kilo Ali. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One of my favorites. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Raheem the Dream, we did that too.
DJ Edward J.
Yeah, Edward J. Shout out to DJ Jelly that came on our show recently.
Yeah. We got an interview out with him.
Yeah, tell about the interview, man, real quick.
Yeah, I mean, we have an interview out now with DJ Jelly. We put it out in parts and everything, so you can go back and see some of the other ones. He goes into everything. He goes into Atlanta hip hop, how it started, what it was before. He goes into his time at Magic City because he used to work in there. I mean, he goes into everything.
Worked at Bobby Brown Studios.
Yeah, Bobby Brown, and that was one of the reasons why he even came out here was because of Bobby Brown. He's everything. So yeah, he goes for a lot. DJ Jelly interviews is real in depth. So definitely.
Hey, bro, Bobby Brown was here, boy. Bobby Brown was in the A. I'm talking about back late 80s.
Playing his flag early.
Stone Mountain, boy. Running through Stone Mountain. So Blocker, Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, KP, you brought up something that it was a topic I was thinking of, man. Like I said, I watched Atlanta from far away, and I did dabble into the when I would come to visit, just what 2000 Atlanta was like for me.
Oh man, that era right there. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, okay, so we went through that, and then we had the crisscross thing, Outkast, LaFace, all of that. That was a whole scene. But what was really special was probably like between 2000 and like maybe to like 07.
Okay.
That little season right there was a movie, bro.
Yeah. Like, it was a movie.
You could just go in your car and you would start at like Peachtree down by Macy's, and it'd be going down in downtown, and it'd be this little section where you had the Django's and you had I can't even think of the can't think of the club right now, but anyway, Cortlandt Street. I can't think of the club because remember Shaka had
which one, Echelon?
Esso was a. If you know anybody from this city, ask them about Esso. That was a whole thing right there, especially the old one on Cortlandt Street with the basement.
Yeah,
and the basement was serious, man. And then so you ride that little section, and then when you get to Buckhead. Right when you get to that McDonald's and you get to that doggone Moe's,
it was crazy.
Well, you better be ready to go. You better have your music ready, all of that, because it's a car show.
KP has rolling around there in big red little truck with bullet holes in it.
Yeah, I had a Toyota truck, man, on some little rims and had little 6x9s and stuff. Hey man, that's what I had, dog. We
was rolling though. We was rolling. Yo, go ahead.
Nah, I was there. Hey, when Atlanta was early to mid 90s, man. I went to school. I went to high school with the twins from Jagged Edge. They put on a talent show every Friday. Escape, 112, Outkast. I'm talking about Backwoods. I'm talking about Youngbloods. They all came through there, man. And they went to school with us too. So like all that stuff formed. They all formed at the same time. I'm talking about Freaknik, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Was like Atlanta wasn't always like big like it is now, and big and fake and lots of fraudulent. Atlanta used to be at a level where we set everything off, man. And that's the Atlanta I miss. You know what I mean?
Well, you gotta admit though that little Meech era was something special. That doggone Vision and that doggone Velvet Rope.
Yeah,
I mean, Velvet Club. Oh my God,
Velvet Club. But I miss
112 Club 112.
112. Yeah, man.
Yeah, the Leopard Lounge. Hey, man, we be out from basically from Thursday all the way to Sunday. It's going down a different spot every night. And we getting it in. Yeah, man, and that whole little Meech era, especially the compound.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Oh, compound.
Party there. Michael Jordan was in there when he played for the Wizards. Another time, Jim Jones performed balling up in there. Meech having his birthday party at compound. Shout out to Big Meech, got to go to that. I mean, it was a whole era. Shout out to Alexis Roberson. She's a girl we went to high school with. She used to always let us in the back door vision, bro. So we never used to have to stand in line because you used to have this thing called an email pass. And you had like this little 1 hour window to get in, but they would hold the door. So they weren't really letting that many people in. And so we would just go to the back door and they let us in and we'd get in and have a good time, man.
Shout out to the plug, wherever you at, Alicia. God bless you, sweetheart. You won for us.
Man, they looked out for us. We had so many plugs in so many places. We didn't really, because we was a big clique. So somebody knew somebody. We didn't really have to wait all the time everywhere we went. Some places we did, but a couple places we had some people looking out for us.
Man, that's I graduated high school in 2003. Man, actually I remember probably 01 and 02. My sister, like I told y'all, my sister had moved down there in like 99. And so 01, 02, she brought me down, she flew me down for spring break. She talked my mom into letting us fly down for spring break. And so, and my spring break wasn't the same as Atlanta high school spring breaks. So I got to like go tour the schools, see the girls. I'm in the dog. I'm walking through like I'm gonna tell you, this is my last image of Atlanta. So I'm walking through the mall, and like a group of 6, 6, 7, 7, and 1, 9, and then another group of 7, 7, 1, 6, 1, 8, and 1, 9, and then another 7, 7, 7, 9, and then 2 dimes and a 3.
Hey B, hey expert, you know what we used to call that? That was just Tuesday.
yeah, exactly. That was every day out here, man.
That was just Tuesday.
I'm at the mall on a Wednesday afternoon. Like, why do y'all like Bible study right now? Why do y'all look this good on a Wednesday afternoon? And so, like, I'm talking about, I'm country, bro. So my head turning, my neck, my ear touching my shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm just blown away. Like, man, when it was time to go, dog, I'm hugging the couch. Like, please let me just enroll in class. I'll go down there. I'm gonna do whatever.
Hey, tell me about that 03 All-Star weekend, man. That was
that's the weekend. There needs to be so you guys, you know, there was that Kevin Hart movie, and who else was in that?
You talking about
the movie
Fight Night. With Samuel Jackson. Yeah, shout out to
yes. But they need to make a movie about All-Star Weekend 03 in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That may be the best weekend
in
Atlanta ever, bro. Ever. Every club packed to the brim. Everywhere you go, lights on, cameras out. Man, that was
game time.
I remember getting that paycheck. I got my I think it was a paycheck from coaching. And we came out for the weekend. That check was gone in maybe 3 hours, maybe. I'm talking about it was a nice check, man. It was it was gone just like that. Had the greatest weekend ever, man. Not gonna get into it. Greatest
expert.
weekend.
You remember we was out that time and we was out. We was outside. And we ended the night at Waffle House like we normally do. Who's sitting there with us? Big Bonds, Master P, and Derek Anderson from the NBA.
Yeah. I mean, out here in Atlanta, you never know who you're going to run into, man. You run into people all the time. You're going to see people all the time. So,
yep.
First of all, shout out to all the Waffle Houses in Atlanta. These are the cleanest Waffle Houses I've ever been to in my entire life. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but outside the city of Atlanta, the Waffle Houses look terrible. All the stuff
I wouldn't know. We go places we don't eat that, man. That's when you at home, man. I remember me and one of the homies to do the show with us. Shout out to Dom. One of the funniest things, we went to Miami one weekend. Okay. We had like Shaka, we just got paid and like, yo, we gonna go to South Beach.
Live it up.
And he got so angry because the homies that went with us, shout out to Sean, Mike knows Sean.
Yeah,
they just wanted to go and get like KFC and all that. And Dom like, yo, we on South Beach. We need to be eating more than KFC and pizza and stuff. And they got into a real argument about it. Shout out to Sean. And Mike, expert noticed, you take Sean to KFC at that time and they had the $1 snacker. My man would eat 15 snackers and 10 fries by himself.
That man.
And he not big.
He eat. Boy.
That's how you know we all country, man.
I see.
And I'll tell you this, he told you that was a movie. The only thing I've ever experienced. Now I don't been to the Olympics.
Okay.
I don't seen Cole play Joe Johnson. That was an era too. Now shout out to the Hawks. That Highlight Factory era with ISO Joe, Josh Smith was a story, bro. It was some good games in there, man. Me and Don went and saw Kobe and ISO Joe go shot for shot. I don't been to the Olympics and seen that. I don't seen MJ come here. The game he came back before the double nickel when he put the jump shot on Steve Smith.
Yeah,
I still have my ticket from the game. I don't seen all that, bruh. The closest thing I ever experienced to that All-Star weekend was going to All-Star weekend in Vegas. That's the closest, and that was. I mean, this was so crazy. People didn't have no hotel. You saw people outside of CVS changing clothes in the parking lot because they were sleeping in their car just to be there. I never seen nothing like that.
Listen, first of all, y'all should know that I dabble in the film production. That's kind of how I got to this podcast thing. I dabble in the film production. So if we need to write a script,
Yeah, man. That need to be.
We might need to.
That All-Star weekend was something crazy.
Let's discuss.
Man. It was something crazy. Shout out to my cousin Chauncey. He got us in all the LL Cool J parties. We was leaving the party, and these boys know this too, because I called them after it happened. We leaving the party, and I see Jason Terry. My cousin's a Q, so he got us in all these parties because he know all the Qs. He friends with Shaq. You know what I'm saying? He used to live in LA, so we get us tickets to the LA games and stuff like that because he's Shaq man. Yeah. So I said, well, we just got done with LL. Call your man, see what's up. And he's like, oh, it's another party at MGM. All right, cool. We're going to go to MGM. We over there. We walking out the MGM. We trying to find out what's next. So here comes Jason Terry. They used to play for the Hawks. By this time, he playing for Dallas, the Jet. Shout out to the Jet. And he yelling, the Qs are in the house. He throwing the hooks up. And I'm like, go talk to your man. Wherever he going, that's where we going.
We going.
And he's like, no, I don't want to talk to him. I said, yo, man, stop being a punk. Go talk to your man. Wherever he going, where we going. So he go talk to JT. And then I see JT walk off with his head down and rush and get in his Bentley and drive off. I said, what you say to him? He said, man, I know the dude wasn't no Q and you forced me to check the guy. He said, because he was a Q, we would have been online at the same time. I went to Arizona. He went to Arizona State. We would know the same people. I knew he wasn't a Q. And I was trying to let him live, and I had to embarrass him in front of them girls.
Man, you can't throw
like,
up.
He said, man, you always spoil the party. I was like, man, I didn't know it, B.
You can't throw it up.
Yeah, you can't be faking it, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely not, man. That's man, look, I don't know what the statute of limitations is up, so I ain't gonna tell that story. But just know that I've witnessed something very similar, and it always ruined the party. I see why he was trying not to talk to him.
I think we all have, Blocker. I think we all been there.
Hey, expert, you seen up close on some people that we ain't gonna say no. We gonna say no names, please.
I ain't saying no names, but I've seen it happen. I've seen it go down. It's crazy though.
Yeah, it's crazy. Man, the world. Some of the things in the world, man. Like some of the stories that I just think about. Just listen to y'all, man. Think about the times that I've had in Atlanta, man. Matter of fact, look, I was thinking about it. I told expert dude last night. I said, man, I was thinking about with some things that was going on. I was thinking about where I need to go, but I gotta go see my mama anyway. She live in Monroe now, and so my sister lives in Logan'sville or Lawrenceville. Logan'sville.
Yeah.
I always get those two confused. So one of them, I know they both in the north, and so
you're going the same way to get to both of them.
Yeah, I know it's 54 minutes everywhere I'm going in Atlanta. I know that too.
You're exactly right.
Yeah,
the traffic is awful. I hate.
Oh, it is.
Oh, I hate the traffic. But yeah, man. I apparently I'm gonna make me a trip to Atlanta. So you got me feeding for Atlanta again, man. It's a good time down there, man. Well, look, I can't say thank y'all enough for joining us, man. And we obviously, as you said, we're gonna have to do it again real soon. Let me know. I'll let you know when I set my flight to come down there, because I'm definitely coming. It's too much fun. It sounds like y'all have more fun than I'm supposed to have. So don't tell my mama.
Oh, man. It's so much stuff that don't happen that we can't say, man. Hey, Gino. It's a lot of no names, please. Ain't that right?
Hey, don't say no names. I like that. Well, man, I can't say thank y'all enough. Tell everybody one more.
I'm gonna let expert handle that. He the best with that drop.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can find us on YouTube at The Culture 9660. You can also find us on Instagram at The Culture 1. So, I mean, those are going to be the main places that you can find us right now. Culture 9660 on YouTube and The Culture 1 on Instagram.
Tap in, man. We got some big stuff happening. We got some big guests. We already had DJ Jelly pop up on the show. Shout out to Stone the First. We got an interview with him coming soon. Yeah. Shout out to Mike Rich. Been on there. Brian Pather, comedian. He been on the channel, man. And we might have another surprise for y'all tomorrow. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, we appreciate it.
Make sure y'all let me know when you do, so I can shoot it, man. I'm definitely supporting the movement and everything y'all doing, man. Very, very, very dope to get the chance to talk with y'all, man. I appreciate it again. Any shameless plugs? Anything before we call it?
Man, I gotta plug my boy Shaka, man. Shout out to Shaka, bro. Like
he humble, man.
He real humble. I'm gonna brag on him real quick, man. If you are a Georgia fan, there's no bigger Georgia fan in this whole state than Shaka. No bigger historian of our sports than Shaka. When it comes to Georgia, I mean, he ain't a tech guy, but he know what's up. I'm a tech guy, and then on top of that, if it comes to the Braves, the Hawks, the Falcons, that's him, man. And if you trying to get fit, holler at Shaka, bro. He'll get you right.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate that, KP. My shameless plug, I'm starting a program for kids, sports and fitness, Excalibur, coachingandfitness.com. Hit me up. All right, we start here in Atlanta, but it's going to branch out soon.
And if you looking for soap, shout out to our sponsor. Mike could tell you that we got a soap sponsor. If you're looking for real estate, we got a real estate sponsor. Go and tell them what time it is, expert.
Yeah, so real estate sponsor is Spalding Realty Group. So we got that. So if you're looking for a realtor, tap into Spalding Realty Group. If you're looking for soap, the Brown Farmers is natural soap. I mean, yarrow soap, oatmeal soap is all natural. They grow it themselves. It's the Brown Farmers, so tap in.
And we got one for you. I'm gonna put this on.
Oh, here you go.
Shout out to Boy Retro. If you're looking for some dope merch, they got hats, they got shirts, whatever you need. Shout out to Boy Retro, and of course, out to our friends over at you know what I'm saying, LOL Burger Bar, best burgers and wings in all of Atlanta. So when you come to Atlanta, pull up at LOL. You're welcome. If you're looking for barbecue, we got that too. You can find us at Ohio Hog. We don't cater for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Been in business since 2008. So I think they know what they doing when it comes to barbecue. So you can always pull up in Tyrone for that. And then, of course, Fresh Division. Our homies over at freshdivision.com. That's fresh with a Z. So, you know what I'm saying? Get you some, in the words of Mike Rich.
Yeah, love that, baby. Well, I appreciate y'all again, man. Thank y'all so much for joining. Thank you to everybody that's checked us out and watched us, man. I've been checking out the comment section. Can't say thank you enough for everybody joining us. To the culture, hopefully very, very soon. And as always, I'm your man Blocker. Thank y'all for watching the Fanatic Sports Podcast. And as I always say, tough times don't last, tough people do. Thank y'all for watching the podcast.